Hey, good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel, the Virginia Bushcrafter. If this is your first time here, you're welcome as well. To all of you wonderful folks out there, YouTubers, content creators, and everyone else. Again, thank you for coming out here to join me on this wonderful day in Northern Virginia. So guys, as you know, when it's bush time, the objective is to practice, learn and practice the skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival for the wilderness. So with that said, guys, today I am practicing for another practice session. And I think it is always good to at least practice something before you plan on spending a night in the bush. So today I'm here to practice making a super shelter. It is known by the renowned Morris Kohansky. So we're going to make this super shelter. We're going to have us a nice fire, a quick meal, but all in all, it's all about practice today, the super shelter. So we're going to start this super shelter off with our ridge line. And you know, your ridge line can be paracord, it can be bank line, it can be a vine, it can just be a log. So I'm just going to take this little loop, put the working end through the loop, put a toggle through here, and secure it. As you can see, it's secured. We're going to go to the other end, make a trucker's hitch. So we're going to make a trucker's hitch on this end. Now, what's one of the benefits of always practicing a ridge line? You get to practice knots. You can practice different type of knots: bull line, trucker's hitch, taut line hitch, taut line knot. So many. But I'm going to make this trucker's hitch right here. Good old fancy loop. This fantastic loop right here, as you can see, and we're going to go through once and twice. And we're just going to secure it. And we have our guitar tight trucker's hitch. The benefits of practicing. So, and again, as a routine, putting up the ridge line, we use a trucker's hitch, a Prusik knot that we can move back and forth. But when we put pressure on it, it doesn't move. So we're going to put this Prusik knot through the grommet. We are going to put a toggle through this one. And we're going to pull this tight as we've done on the other end. And as you can see, this is the beginning of the lean-to shelter, of the super shelter that's starting out as a lean-to. Now guys, one of the major benefits or major aspects of the super shelter is to get the radiant heat. We want to avoid conduction, which will suck all of the heat out of you because you're in contact with the ground. And we want to avoid convection, wind coming in, just taking the heat away from us. We want to concentrate on the radiant heat. And one way to do that is by having as much mylar as you can, because mylar will reflect the heat to you. So as you can see here, I am putting in a ground floor. Now that's another benefit of a tarp, is that it can be used as a ground sheet. So let me show you what I've done to one side and what I'm going to do to the next side. So guys, what I'm going to do is put this loop through the ground sheet grommet and the lean-to grommet. As you can see, I've made a loop, tent stake into the ground to secure it. There's one side. Here's the other side. And now let's go to the front and secure that as well. Now, just as I did on the other side and the rear, again, I'm using number 36 bank line to go into the grommet as a loop. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because I do not want to take the tent peg and have it on this portion of the tarp. Tarp will last much longer. As the saying goes, if you take care of your equipment, it will take care of you. Okay, so that is now inserted. So just by using 4 tent pegs, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, a ridge line, 2 prusik knots, we have shelter that if we chose, that we would be perfectly fine. But again, practicing for a night in the bush is always good. And again, this is the beginning of a super shelter that was started again with the renowned Morris Kochanski. Guys, this is the super shelter known by the renowned Morris Kochanski. This super shelter is designed to provide you with radiant heat. It will prevent you from conduction. As you will notice, there is a bedroll that is on top of a 5x7 mylar grabber tarp. This is to prevent conduction. Your radiant heat will come through this plastic and it will reflect heat to you from the mylar that is inside. And when this heat comes through this plastic and reflects and provides you with the heat, it gets the heat will be trapped inside. Here is an opening to let air in. Here is one side. As you can see, it is secured by Mother Nature to keep the plastic down. plastic goes over the rear as well. And here is more of Mother Nature to secure the rear. Here is the other side. So guys, this is a lean-to shelter with a ground floor enclosed in a 0.7 mil plastic drop cloth. So guys, again, this is practice before I do an overnighter in this super shelter. Again, the benefits of pitching this shelter is practicing your knots with a ridge line, using 2 5x7 Mylar grabber tarps and a 9x12 0.7 mil plastic drop cloth sheet. And as you can see, I have clamps here to keep it closed on the sides, but there's also ventilation. So guys, with this nice shelter, the next thing to practice is firecraft, because we want to test it out. We are actually going to make a nice fire, and we're going to compare the temperatures outside of the super shelter to the temperatures inside the super shelter. All right, guys, since we have been harvesting and now it's time to process some wood, I sawed these logs up into manageable pieces, but this time of the year, everything is wet. The wood must be split. In order to get to the middle, yes, this wood is dry on the inside, but definitely wet on the inside. So guys, this is again, you just have to prepare for what Mother Nature provides you. Wet wood can be overcome. Yeah, the axe that I'm using, again, it is a S-Wing Sportsman Camp hatchet. And this is why you use a piece of wood to block. Good chips here. Gonna need those chips, that is for sure. And what's going to have to be made is a lot of kindling and some feather sticks. All right, guys, I'm going to bulk up the remainder of this wood, and we'll be back for feather stick time. Well, guys, with the everything being as damp as it is, I've split the wood. I've sawed the wood into manageable pieces. I've split the wood to get to the inside, which is dry. And now I'm going to make feather sticks. Because I think they will truly be needed. So I'm going to be using a Condor Wayfinder 5-inch blade, drop point, Scandi grind, 1095 steel, walnut handles. So let's put the other glove on and put you in focus. See if I'll put you back somewhat. Again, this is fat wood, so it is relatively easy. I'm getting a lot of shavings. Just put the Scandi edge or this bevel on an angle. And you will come out with feather sticks. That's going to be very nice. Everything that you pick up off the bush floor today, more than likely, is wet, but I'm sure if you pull the bottom limbs or branches They will be dry, but I think these will be sufficient. And again, this is fat wood. Fat wood is basically when a tree no longer is living, all the resin goes to the joints of the trunk and the branches and to the bottom. So guys, I'm going to make a few more. Then we're going to get this campfire started. Mother Nature here. All right, guys, so you can see all of the fat wood right here that I've made into kindling. But I'm going to use some of this fat wood right here, the feather sticks. And as one gets going, I'll add the other. Okay, we have one here. Going to add the other. I'm going to add another one. All right, guys, so as you can see, the smoke, that black smoke is from the resin of the fat wood. And that is drying out that wet wood. So we have a fire going, and look how much tinder I have left over. So guys, again, another wonderful skill of bushcrafting. We've done shelter today. We've done firecraft. We're going to cook a meal, and we're going to continue to learn. Well, guys, I am in the super shelter, and I cannot wait for some much colder weather. This thing is working exactly as it should. It feels so wonderful. As you can see, the fire is really going now. Guys, this feels so wonderful. There's all the radiant heat. When you see that yellow, that is radiant heat that is coming through this plastic. It is reflecting off the mylar and being trapped in here. God, this is just so wonderful. I don't even want to get out to make a meal, which I may not. So I'm just gonna chill out here. I may end up taking off this jacket because this super shelter works well. And I want to tell you, I did a super shelter some years ago. It did not work this well because I did not prepare it correctly. But I went to a class last year at the Georgia Bushcraft, and we made a super shelter as a team. And it was just wonderful. So I'm saying, here it is, December 21st. I know we're going to get some extremely cold weather in January and February. And this is going to be my go-to. I mean, this is just as if I'm standing right next to the fire. So again, this is just mylar, and the ground is mylar. But if I had time, I would make a raised bed. But I have a bedroll, as you can see right here, and that's quite sufficient. So guys, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this warmth. Oh, this is a 10 out of 10. This is just, I mean, this is just unbelievable. Kudos to Morris Kochanski. Guys, I have been in this super shelter for about 15 minutes, and I am already peeling off clothes. If you guys have not tried a super shelter, it is a must. I think this is the best shelter I've ever pitched. I mean, look at that beautiful, again, that is radiant heat. That is heat that is coming through this plastic. It is reflecting off the mylar here. I have a mylar floor, and it's being trapped inside. And this is so nice, I don't want to get out. But again, I'm doing this shelter because I want to really see how well it's going to work when I'm in the bush overnight, for at least 2 nights. I really want to know how well and effective this is that I could pitch by myself. Again, the first one I pitched that worked so well was with a group of about 6 of us. So this again is nothing more than a lean-to shelter enclosed with 7 mil drop cloth. So this is just, it's wonderful, guys. And yeah, it's hot in here. It really is, but it feels good. So again, you know, I came out here again, the ridge line, practicing with the loop knot, the trucker's hitch knot, the Prusik knot. You know, with working with the paracord, knowing there's 7 strands in this paracord. There's so many things that you can do with paracord. It can be used for first aid. It can be used for hauling logs. I use the Ferrocim rod. The Ferrocim rod can be used for more than just fire. It can be used as a signaling device. Now, leave it in the comments, how can a Ferrocim rod be used as a signaling device? Well, number one, if it's dark and you strike it, you're going to get some light. If someone's looking for you, they're going to see that light. The sound of the Ferrocim rod is going to be audible. So the Ferrocim rod, the paracord, the tarp can be used even as a stretcher. There's so many things that every piece of equipment that is used for bushcraft can be used for at least 5 to 7 more items. But I'm going to do an in-depth video on that because I think it's really important. But wow, it's hot in here. But at least I do have some ventilation right here. And I have these logs here. I can just push those out. These logs right here. And actually, I can get some cool, you know, become a little somewhat cooler. But I'm going to enjoy this heat while I'm here. It is a total, I mean, it has to be at least 75, 80 degrees in this shelter. And out there, it's at least 40 degrees. So, I mean, but look at that Mother Nature. You know, a saw, an axe, a knife, you can put all of this together. But I'm gonna spoil my fun, get out and make me a quick meal, and I'll be back with you guys. Guys, again, this is a super shelter designed from the renowned Morris Kochanski. Hey guys, another bit of information. We hear a lot of content creators mention they have problems with their batteries when it's cold. Well, you just found the answer. A super shelter. I'm getting ready to get my batteries that's in my gear over there and put them in my shelter. All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Guys, look at the moisture coming out of the wood. Moisture coming out of the wood. Guys, I'm out of the shelter, and there is a big difference. Whew. Now I must stand close to the fire. But that, guys, if you haven't tried a super shelter for the winter, I can't wait for January and February. For the coldest months here. This warrants not being out just one night, but at least 2 or 3. When you can remain this comfortable in a super shelter, just do your part, harvest and process wood, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Well guys, it is time for a meal, just for the sake of practicing cooking. And what I'm going to have today is very, very simple. Baby red mashed potatoes. And it calls for 2 cups of water. Just let it boil. But I think instead of just the 16 ounces, I'm going to put in maybe 17 or 18 ounces of water. Because once it starts to boil, you actually lose. Let's see, I have 32, so I'm going to put in 18 ounces as opposed to 16. As soon as I can get this locked, boy, what a difference from being in the super shelter and coming out here. Whew. I don't know if that's really good coming from that dramatic warmth to out here. I don't know if that's really good for me. I don't know. I think this is enough. If it's not, I'll just add more. It calls for 16 ounces. I'm going to use 18. I'm going to put this on the fire. And whew, I'm going to put my shirt back on as well. Be right back. All right, guys, I am back. And I am waiting on the water to start boiling. But had to make me some coffee, man. It was... And I forgot some things, so I'm drinking it out of the hot nesting cup, but feels really good. Oh man, whew. What a difference coffee makes. It will even be better when that water starts to boil so that I can add my baby red tomatoes, mashed potatoes with my thin vegetable baked snack crackers, garden veggie. So my meal for today. Of course, I'm just out here for a short time anyway. But like I said, I was out here to practice. I really know that I can even make some improvements to this super shelter. Instead of bringing the plastic straight down. I think I may bow it out to give me a bit more room. I think I'll take it to the edge of the tarp that is on the ground, and I also have another tarp. It's a I made it into a bivy so that once I'm in here, I can wrap up in it. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. You know, I will be sleeping on a Mylar tarp. Well, I will be sleeping on a bedroll, on a foam bedroll that is on top of the Mylar tarp that's been used as a ground sheet. And then there would be a wall behind me that has Mylar. And then with the plastic, I don't think I need anything else to wrap up in when I'm in that shelter. But hey, it's just called practice. Using your tools. I mean, I've been watching a lot of videos on different tools and so forth, and I'm totally convinced, you know, the tools play a large part, but knowing how to use those tools is even greater. Using them to their fullest potential. So, but guys, I'm gonna enjoy this coffee. Wait on that water start to boil. I'll be back. As you can see, the fire is going nicely. And there it is, the super shelter. Well, guys, the meal is ready. Just some mashed potatoes with some thin vegetables and some Gatorade. So that's about it for today as far as the meal. The easiest thing to prepare: boil some water, 16 ounces of water, but I excuse me, I used 18. Let it come to a rolling boil. Toss the potatoes in, stir it up, wait about 5 minutes, and it's still hot. But yeah, this was fun today. It's still relatively early, so I'm gonna chow down on this meal and then see what else I can do as far as bushcrafting. See you after my meal, guys. As you can see, the fire is doing what it does. Hey guys, it's amazing just from that small fire that is going out, how I can still feel the radiant heat in this super shelter. And what I've done just to make more room, I've just taken the stick and pushed the plastic out somewhat further. And this definitely gives a lot of room for one person. However, even with a 10 by 10, this would still be fantastic. Which I'm thinking about doing one that is just getting comfortable here. Using a 10 by 10, but you know, the smaller the space, the more heat it keeps. But even with that small fire, this heat really feels good. And I finished eating and everything, and I guess the next thing for me to do is, when I get out is start cleaning up everything, leave no trace, and get ready for the next weekend. But again, this was more or less a practice session that I wanted to do to really see how well the Super Shelter performs, and it does 110%. The only thing is that you're going to have to process a lot of wood. If you're going to be here 2 nights, at least you're going to have to process a lot of wood. And probably with it feeling so nice in here, you may not want to get out of the Super Shelter. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up everything. And I have to show you a log that I'm looking at that will at least give me a night of fuel. But I'll show that to you before I leave. But in the meantime, I'm going to get up and go start to clean up. Yeah, with the fire's finally going out on its own. All right, guys, how long do you think that wood will last you? I'm going to give it a guess. Maybe a night. All right, with that said, guys, I think that's maybe a night's worth of fuel. But if you're here for more than one night, you will be doing some harvesting and processing of wood. And with that said, guys, this has been a fun day, very exciting. Again, putting up a Super Shelter, starting with a ridge line, using 2 5x7 grabber tarps and a 9x12 7mm drop cloth, plastic drop cloth. Was able to make a fire using the S-Wing Sportsman hatchet to do some splitting, the Agawa saw to do some sawing, and the Condor Wayfinder to make some feather sticks and prepare a meal. So with that said, guys, it's been fun. Thanks for coming along, joining me in this great day, and I'm going to see you on the next weekend. So guys, like, comment, share this video out, hype, and subscribe to the Virginia Bushcrafter if you have not done so. I appreciate your time. I will see you on the next video. Stay safe, everyone. The Virginia Bushcrafter signing out. And as always, like father and son, mother and daughter, human in nature, we're all akin in some form of fashion. So just get out in the bush and have some fun.